Serial killers have always been a topic of fascination for many people. From movies to books, we've all been captivated by their twisted minds and deeds. But what makes them tick? Is there something that sets them apart from others? The answer might lie in the MacDonald Triad. Welcome back to Psychology of a Mind. Let's get started. The MacDonald Triad is a theory proposed by a psychiatrist named J.M. MacDonald in the 1960s. The triad consists of three behavioral characteristics that, when present together in childhood, are believed to increase the likelihood of violent behavior in adulthood. The three traits are animal cruelty, bedwetting, and arson. According to MacDonald, if a child exhibits all three of these traits, it could be a warning sign that the child might become a violent offender in the future. Several notorious serial killers have exhibited these traits in childhood. For example, Jeffrey Dahmer, who was known to have tortured and killed animals when he was a child, also struggled with bedwetting until he was a teenager. Ted Bundy had a history of torturing and killing animals as well as wetting the bed until he was a late teenager. David Berkowitz, better known as the son of Sam, tortured animals and set fires as a child, and he also had a history of bedwetting which persisted into his teenage years. J.M. MacDonald conducted an experiment in the 1960s to test his theory. However, the experiment has several flaws. The sample size was small and not representative of the general population. The study relied on self-reported behavior, did not control for other factors, and did not follow patients over time. Critics argue that the MacDonald Triad theory is an oversimplification of the complex factors that contribute to violent behavior. The evaluation of violent behavior should be based on a thorough assessment of multiple factors, rather than relying on a simplistic theory like the MacDonald Triad. Regardless, the MacDonald Triad has been used by some experts as a tool for identifying potentially dangerous individuals, but its use is controversial. Firstly, the MacDonald Triad is often used as a catch-all explanation for violent behavior, without taking into account the complex factors that contribute to it. Secondly, the MacDonald Triad has not been empirically proven to be a reliable predictor of violent behavior. While some studies have found a correlation between the three traits and violent behavior, other studies have found no correlation at all. Thirdly, the MacDonald Triad can lead to false accusations or misinterpretation of behavior. Just because a child exhibits all three traits does not mean that they will become a violent offender in the future. Similarly, not all violent offenders exhibit all three traits. Lastly, the use of the MacDonald Triad in criminal trials can be prejudicial to the defendant. Using the triad as evidence of a defendant's propensity for violence can unfairly prejudice the jury against them, especially if there is little other evidence linking them to the crime. Experts suggest that the MacDonald Triad may be a sign of child abuse or neglect, rather than a predictor of future violent behavior. Children who are abused or neglected may exhibit these behaviors as a coping mechanism. While the triad may be useful for identifying children who are at risk, not all children who exhibit the triad have been abused or neglected. Therefore, it is important to approach the issue with caution and use multiple tools to identify potentially at-risk children. In summary, while the MacDonald Triad may be a useful tool for identifying potentially dangerous individuals, its use is controversial and should be approached with caution. It is important to remember that violent behavior is complex and multifaceted, and should be evaluated on a case-by-case basis using multiple tools and approaches. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay smart and stay safe.